What is going on, Nerd Fam? Nerdy Jace here, and on today's video, I got a brand new What's in the Box video. As you know by now, What's in the Box is my version of a pickup video, whether it's local stores, online stores, such as eBay, Amazon, certain websites, gifts from friends, family, whatever. I show off things in my collection and hopefully, either tell you something that you haven't already known or, show you something new that could interest you. So yeah, got quite a bit of stuff today, so we're going to go ahead and jump in there. You know the drill as always. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share. Get you some snacks, get you something to drink. Got me a little mixed drink action today. As you can see, got Ripley and Jonesy Boy over there. I got rock and roll down under the desk at my feet. But anywho, yeah, I got a little bit of everything today. I got some books, got some music, got some board games. Of course, I got movies, and I also have some video games today. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, this is a book that my wife, she actually, I think, pre-ordered it a while back, and it finally released. It's a little golden book. A is for Alien ABC book. And as you can see, it's based on the awesome 70s movie Alien by Ridley Scott. And of course, you know how much I love not only this movie, but this franchise, because again, I've named two of my cats after characters in this movie and movie series. So yeah, this was very, very cute. Again, it's the ABC book that we, all of us had growing up, various franchises and things like that. But yeah, this came out this year, 2024. And again, it's just little things from the movie. There's the crew right there. D is for Dallas. What else we got? F is for Facehugger. So again, this is something that was just very, very cute. And my wife knew that I would get a kick out of it, and of course she did also. So yeah, something very, very cool. Again, you can get it on Amazon. You might be able to get it at your bookstores, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble, things like that. I'm not sure. Maybe even Target. Target has a lot of little books and stuff like this in their sections. But yeah, so that's the first thing up on the list. Again, very, 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 very cute. And of course, they got other stuff too, like Planet of the Apes. Oh, that's fun. That'd be a funny one. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and go into music. So my Coheed and Cambria little LP came in. So this is 7-inch 2-song record. If you have played Batman Arkham City, this is new song The Joke, and then older song Deranged. So Deranged was on the Arkham City, I guess, official soundtrack or whatever. So I'm not sure if it's the people at Warner Brothers or whoever, reached out to a lot of bands and asked them to write songs for the game, or it has something to do with the game. So Coheed got hit up, and they recorded Deranged. So basically it's a song from the Joker's point of view, talking to Batman, basically there's no me without you kind of thing. And just basically talking in general what would happen to Gotham, without one of them to, counteract the other. And then the new song, The Joke, that's from Batman's point of view. So very, very cool. up until now, Deranged hasn't been available outside of that album, and I think even Warner Brothers had tight reins on the song for whatever reason. Like, you can't even look it up on so yeah, there's the lyrics and stuff right there. Like, you can't even search it on like Spotify and stuff. You go to like clips and stuff of it, or they recently played it live on the last Neverender cruise that they had, and that's when so that was, I think, October last year, and that's when Claudio and the crew brought the song back out and said, yeah, some things are down the pipeline, but Deranged is about to be free. So again, I guess Warner Brothers had some kind of stranglehold on it, and you couldn't get it outside of that, and it's apparently hard to find. Maybe it's even been delisted or whatever, but Deranged is an awesome song, especially once you get the context of, again, it's Joker saying that to Batman and stuff, and the joke's pretty good also. I definitely prefer Deranged, and again, hopefully that's going to be in their rotation going forward for the live performances and stuff. But yeah, I got this, of course, off their website. I'm not sure if there's any more available, because we had to pre-order these, and even this isn't the one that I wanted. Like the vinyl color, there's a different one I wanted. I think it was a little bit more Joker-esque in like the paint scheme or whatever. Like, I think I logged on, we went on like 10 a.m. I think I got on like 10:05, and that one was already sold out. So I got this one too. Again, it's pretty cool, but I would have preferred the other one. Well, whatever. Go to their website, check it out. Get if you can. Great songs. Check them out on YouTube and all that stuff. I think now that they've done this, I think it might be on Spotify and Pandora and stuff now. Don't quote me on it, but hey, give it a check. See, maybe it is. All right, so next up, after I take a little swiggy swig, we're getting into the board game realm. I'll let you in on a little secret too. An upcoming, I'm gonna have another like just strictly board game centric what's in the box in a few more months, because I got some cool shit coming in from like Kickstarters and stuff. So keep that in mind. That's going to be on the horizon. But something I ordered, more so for my wife, because she's a huge fan of this. But I also have the games, and that was featured on another What's in the Box video. But this is an expansion to Zombicide 2nd Edition, and it's Monty Python's Flying Circus. So again, you need the Zombicide core set in order to play this, but yeah, you can add Monty Python characters to your Zombicide game. So this is the big expansion, and as you can see here, it's a lot of their big character sketches. You got the Spanish Inquisition as whatchamacallit, some zombies. You got Hell's Grannies here. You got the Foot. I think the Foot's an abomination. I can't remember. The Nude Organist. Then of course some of their other characters like Arthur Nudge, Colonel, Lumberjack, Fish Slappers, Arthur Ewing, and Night with a Raw Chicken. So again, it's just something to throw in there into your Zombicide game, give it a little bit more humor and stuff. And also with this, I got the Gumby pack. So not only is this the character cards plus the Gumbies themselves as survivors, but also you can have them as, I believe, abominations, just abominations, not regular zombies. Yeah, so you can also turn these into abominations if you want to. So again, something very cool, very funny. And again, my wife is a huge Monty Python fan, so something to add to board game night here and there whenever I can, drug my wife and actually get her to play shit with me. But again, check that out. You can go to Cool Mini or Not's website, or straight to Zombicide or whatever. At this point, I'm sure they probably have done some reprints of them and whatnot. But yeah, if you're interested, if you're a fan of Zombicide, go ahead and check them out. Let's see. Next up, I think I'm gonna do the movies. See, I got a stack of movies, of course. Again, I love my movies. I'm a huge cinephile. So first up, we got a new 4K Vinegar Syndrome release, and this will be the second Chuck Norris 4K movie that they've released. The first of his, really solo action, more mature stuff. The first one was, of course, Sidekicks, which I also showed off on a previous episode. But now we have Invasion USA. So yeah, very, very nice looking slip cover. And again, I love me some Chuck Norris. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come, to where we get more Chuck Norris stuff in Blu-ray. Maybe they do, or not Blu-ray, but 4K also. Maybe they'll do like a box set of his stuff, kind of like they did with Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and stuff. But yeah, I want to say this was one of the first few Canon film videos that came out, and of course stars Chuck Norris. The story is by his brother Aaron, because he did a lot of his brother's movies to kind of help him out, and I guess he got bored and just like, yeah, cool, I'll do that. I don't know. But Invasion USA, Chuck's character is Matt Hunter, and he was a retired CIA agent, living quiet life out in the Florida Everglades. But then a Soviet terrorist that he let live in an op, and just basically busted him to jail. He hasn't been able to get over that slight, I guess, that he got caught. So he comes up with a plan. His name is Mikhail Rostov. He basically exacts revenge, going after, him and his friends and stuff, but also trying to do an occupation of the U.S. So Matt comes out of, retirement, becomes a one-man army, as always, and takes it right to the Soviets. He gets the local PD and army and all that stuff involved, and, it's a Canon Films action film, so huge explosions, bullets flying everywhere, all that stuff. But again, Chuck Norris, 4K, kicking ass, taking names. Fuck yeah. Love it. And again, I'm a huge fan of Vinegar Syndrome releases now, because they put in the work doing the restorations, having nice art on the slip covers and stuff, getting those extra special features, things like that. They're awesome. And a lot of times you have to jump on, if you want these stylish slip cases or special edition cases, kind of like the Sidekicks one I had in a previous video. You got to jump on them like that, because they will sell out. They're usually only limited to so many copies, anywhere from like 500 to 1,000 or two, and then it's just just your basic cover or whatever. Again, that might not be too important to you, but again, a movie nerd like me, I love shit like this. So yeah, Invasion USA, first one up. Next, I got a Scream Factory release. This is Alone in the Dark. So again, nice new artwork for the movie. And this was, when this came out, 82, or 82. So yeah, 1982. Has a great cast. I don't think I never really heard of the movie, because I guess maybe just the rental places where I was living at the times or whatever, maybe they just didn't have any copies. But I don't remember seeing this in any rental places. But it has a great freaking cast. So it stars Jack Palance, Donald Pleasance. You know, I love me some Donald Pleasance. Martin Landau, great actor also. Dwight Schultz, you know him from A-Team. He's been on a couple of the Star Trek series, amongst other things. And in this, so yeah, I'm just going to read straight from the back. Because I really found out about this from my In Search of Darkness documentaries. Because again, they talked about this a little bit, and it looked really cool. So in this, as a secluded mental institution, electricity fuels the high-tech security system that keeps the nearby neighborhoods safe from deviant menaces like Frank Hawks, that is Jack Palance's character. And Preacher, who is Martin Landau. So Dr. Bain, that's Donald, played by Donald Pleasance, maintains strict order while a new doctor, Dan Potter, played by Dwight Schultz, Howlin' Mad Murdoch. He arrives in the town with his family, but the inmates don't take too kindly to the new doctor's presence and believe he's killed off their former therapist. So suddenly, a power outage leaves the town in chaos, and the inmates are free to roam around, cause havoc and stuff, and hunt down the men that they believe invaded their lives. With the area quickly descending into riots and chaos, the innocent few must fight for their lives when they're left terrified, cornered, and alone in the dark. So yeah, apparently it's a nice, you know, kind of slow burn, like edge of your seat horror film, and has a lot of black humor in it. So, you know, again, appreciate that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is from Scream Factory, and of course they have their reversible covers and bukus of, you know, special features and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to watching this with the wifey and checking it out for the first time. And keeping in that same vein, another 80s film, again, I knew of, but never really watched it. Again, found out more from it, or more about it from In Search of Darkness, and that would be Blood Diner. So this is a Vestrum, or a Vestrum video release. So again, they do a lot of cult releases and stuff, bringing them back, restoring them, that kind of thing. So again, love this right here. First they greet you, then they eat you. So this is a quirky horror comedy, I guess. So basically, the Blood Diner not stars, but it's the protagonists are the Namtut brothers. They have the most popular restaurant in town, and the head chef is I think their uncle. But the reason like their food and stuff so good is because he kills people and then uses them as sacrifices, and, you know, feeds them to the to everybody to kind of appease the voodoo gods or whatever that he's attributing his success to. And, you know, he leaves that to the brothers there, and yeah, just insanity ensues. You got what is it? Not only is there stuff, you know, against humans, but there's reanimated like chickens and other little animal body parts, and they go crazy, kind of like Reanimator, or if you have seen the movie Dead Heat, I think they do some of that in that movie also. But again, it's very tongue-in-cheek. You just take it with a grain of salt, just enjoy the ride from what I've seen. I'm trying to remember, who the director is. It's not telling me. Oh yeah, Jackie Kong. So she's done all kinds of like crazy shit. And this was on, I think, the Video Nasties over in England, and got hit big time by the MPAA. And again, Jackie's like, whatever, man, this is just fun. Fuck you. This is fun. I'm having fun. It's not sexist or feminist or whatever, misogynistic, whatever. I'm the director. I'm the one, okaying all this stuff. So I don't have a problem with it. Why do you have a problem with it? That kind of thing. So again, another one looking forward to watching for the first time and just hopefully getting blown away by the insanity of it. Next up, I have the 4K Swamp Thing. Hell yeah. So this came out in, oh shit, what was it? I'm trying to remember when this came out also. I remember watching, I saw clips of this on like TNT or TBS or whatever. So this has both versions. It's the Laserdisc collection. So there was a PG version, and then there was an unrated European version. So this has both on here, plus your normal Blu-ray special features, a bunch of stuff. Wes Craven directed this, so this was early on in his career. I want to say he did. This was around the time that he did, of course, Last House on the Left, and was it Piranha or Piranha 2 that he directed? I can't remember. But I think this was around that same time. But again, basically, they just took, the DC hero Swamp Thing, adapted part of his story into this, and, went with it. But, stars Louis Jordan and Adrienne Barbeau. Again, love Adrian too. Been in several John Carpenter films, and a horror icon as well. So, of course, we got the 4K and the regular Blu-ray, and it even came with a little poster of the new art on there. That's kind of cool. But again, another one to go down, memory lane, checking this out, because again, it's been a very long time since I've watched it. And actually, I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through, truth be told. But again, I love my old movies and whatnot. 81, it came out in 81, so I was born the next year. But again, very cool set, and again, being in 4K, going to make those old colors and stuff pop, and all that bunch of good stuff. Next up on the old video list, we have the classic, the 80s classic, Frankenhooker. Hell yeah. So this is Frank Henenlotter's film. So Frank, he did Basket Case, which I've showed that off a few times. He also did Brain Damage. Brain Damage is okay, definitely not one of my favorites. That was kind of a one time watch. But then did Frankenhooker. So this is absolutely a horror comedy. I want to say Troma helped publish this. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure they helped release this because again, Troma is all about independent filmmakers getting their stuff out there to help out upcoming filmmakers and stuff. So yeah, a terrifying tale of sluts and bolts. So yeah, again, this is another crazy ass movie, plenty of black humor, TNA, just off the wall absurdity that you can only get in the 80s. So if you don't know, basically, the main character, Jeffrey Franken, his fiance is chopped up in a freak accident from this super lawnmower that he helped create for his soon-to-be father-in-law, and not being able to cope. Jeffrey is also a medical student, and he's coming up with all this stuff to basically be Dr. Frankenstein. Frankenstein. It's pronounced Frankenstein. So he reassembles his fiancee Elizabeth by basically killing a bunch of prostitutes and then piecing together her body, because he kept her head alive, and he's just getting her body back up. And a lightning storm comes up, he resurrects her, but when he does, something goes haywire in her brain, and then she becomes, she starts, as it says, turning tricks and bringing high voltage death to her customers. So again, absurdity but awesomeness. Again, just tongue-in-cheek, take it with a grain of salt, just enjoy the fucking ride, because again, it's something. It's out there. And this is a Synapse Films release on the physical media. Again, another company that takes all these cult films and other things, and keeps the preservation alive, brings them to the, whatever new media is at the time to keep it going forward, so we don't lose it. And yeah, just again, take a look at it. It pops back up on Shudder here and there. I'm sure it's also on like Amazon Video and stuff. But again, another one. Been meaning to add to the collection for a while, and finally did. Pull the trigger on it. Again, very, very good times. All right, I got two more in the video list. This one is another Scream Factory release, but it's kind of bare bones as far as like features and stuff. Basically, it's just the movie for the most part. And this is a DVD Blu-ray combo, but that's The Autopsy of Jane Doe. This is a very good movie. This came out in 2016, and I've seen bits and pieces here and there of it, and then finally they popped up back on the last drive-in, and I watched it all the way through. And of course, with Joe Bob and Darcy's movie facts and all that stuff. But this is a very good movie. It's a slow burn, but it's also kind of like a horror mystery, because as it says, it's the autopsy of a Jane Doe, and you're trying to figure out what the hell happened to her. And as they go deeper and deeper, finding stuff out, all this other weird shit happens. And you're just like, whoa. And again, it just keeps going. Come on, Cam. There we go. And very small cast. Is basically it's two sets. You got the outside briefly, and then it's all in this family-run morgue. And so it's a father-son combo. Brian Cox, which you know from Trick or Treat and Zodiac and X-Men 2 and a ton of other stuff. He has done all kinds of stuff. Great actor. But Brian Cox and his son, Emil Hirsch, who was in Lone Survivor and Killer Joe, they're the coroners, and they're slowly, again, trying to figuring out what happened to her. And again, just once it starts getting going, you're just like, whoa. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, definitely check it out. Right now, this was pretty cheap. I think I got it for like $8 or $9 on Amazon. So I recommend just go ahead and buying it. It's a very good movie. And last up, I got another 4K release, and this came out in 2020, I believe it was. It'll tell me, it's not telling me right there. I think it was a 2020 release, but it is the 4K release of George Romero's classic Dawn of the Dead. And that's right, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. So yeah, Second Sight Films put this collection together, and this has so it's the regular cut, the extended cut, and then the Argento cut, all in one. So basically, this is an upgrade to the Dawn of the Dead Ultimate Edition DVD that came out years and years ago. This definitely went out of print. kind of the same thing, but again, 4K. And I think this has some extra special features, some extra documentaries and set piece stuff and whatnot. More stuff with Tom Savini, again, who not only had an acting role in this movie, but also, of course, did all the special features. But again, I've been looking for an updated version of this, because again, this has all three of the versions as well, plus, you know, just a disc for the special features. So yeah, classic movie. And again, with it being in 4K, I mean, the colors and stuff were already very, very good, but having that in 4K also, just to pop even more, hell yeah, that's going to be freaking awesome. So yeah, and again, the three versions of the film. So yeah, the Argento cut basically is Dario Argento just kind of doing his own edits to the film, and he took out some scenes, added some extended scenes on others, and then has even more music from Goblin. So Goblin did the soundtrack to this movie, but he added extra Goblin music to it. One of these days I'll watch that one. Typically I go right to the extended cut, getting those little extra pieces in there, more Tom Savini, gorgeous effects, all that stuff. But again, been wanting this for a while. This cup also kept going in and out of being, you know, sold out and whatnot. So finally it came back up, got a good deal on it, and had to pull the trigger on it. So again, definitely grab this if you're a fan of the movie. This is the new definitive version of the film, the best way to watch it. So hell yeah, high recommend on this. All right, and now we're going to finish up with some video games. Some video game stuff, and this is all about my Sega Saturn. So I had something new come in, and then some of these are things I got a while back. I was going to do an updated version of my Sega Saturn video that I did years ago, because again, if you watched it, you know I had audio problems. An update happened with OBS, and it totally messed up my settings. So I had my mic sound or whatever was all like muffled and everything. So I was wanting to hold off and do a new video on that, which I still might. So that's why I kind of kept some of these off to the side and just never did it. So I figured, hey, why not? Why the hell not? I got something cool that just came in. Let's go ahead and add these to here. So I got a few sets of games. First up is, again, most of these, I got 2 imports and then 2 US releases. So this is an import of House of the Dead. Again, a favorite arcade shooter by Sega, of course. Again, great art. I mean, not so much on this one, because again, this is kind of like the what was it? The greatest hits collection or whatever version of it, but still great art. It has it from like the arcade cabinet, and yeah, you know, got the book here. So yeah, it's a light gun game, and light guns still have a way to come to work on newer TVs and monitors and stuff. There's a few companies that have made great strides with it. So, you know, you don't have to have an old tube TV sitting around collecting dust or whatever in order to use this. Surprisingly enough, the joystick or controller actually works surprisingly well on this game. It gives you a little bit of leeway, so you know you're not immediately just being attacked or whatever. You got a little bit of time to, you know, get your reticule up and hit it. So yeah, surprisingly enough, controller works well on this. And again, classic light gun shooter, House of the Dead 2. Another great game that was on the Sega the Sega Dreamcast. Fun little tidbit. I played this for the very first time in London when so we took a band trip to London. We got to play in the Lord Mayor of Westminster's New Year's parade. And of course, we got to go around, tour different places, things like that. So one of the places was the London Dungeon, and that was all about, the medieval like torture devices, the Iron Maidens, and the racks and all that. Also talk about things that happen like the bubonic plague, yada yada yada, that kind of thing. So we got to see little dioramas and things like that. And actually, I think I mentioned this before also, but I always love telling this story. So you go through all that, and then like halfway through, you go into this room and you kind of have to wait depending on how many people are already let in. So once you get herded into this other room, spotlight comes on, and it's one of the like Scotland Yard or Parliament. I'm not sure what their actual thing was, but it's judges came out, and everybody that's in the room was guilty of some crime. They just start pointing out people like, you were drunk in public, you were running naked through the streets, and just all kinds of absurd stuff. And in order to get out of basically being hanged, we were charged with helping Scotland Yard trying to find Jack the Ripper. So the second half of the London Dungeon was nothing but historical thing on Jack the Ripper. So that was pretty cool. And then, of course, after that, you go to the gift shop, yada, yada, yada. But right there was House of the Dead. So I played it there. And then I played it... also, they had a Sega World right there in London also. So I got to play it there also. But the very first time I played it was at the London Dungeon. So that was really cool. Next up, we got a game that I think it was Japan only. I'm not even sure. I don't think it was even an arcade game. If it was an arcade, also, it was just over in Japan. But that is Golden Axe, The Duel. So in it, you have various characters from the Golden Axe series, and of course, Death Adder himself. And again, it's just your standard one-on-one fighting game like Street Fighter or whatever. Honestly, it's not very good. But I love Golden Axe. It's in that universe. It has little things where the little magicians or whatever they come out, so you can pop up, get some turkey meat to get your life up. You can get some extra potions to get your magic meter up, to do some special moves, things like that. Never heard of it until again, just going down Sega Saturn rabbit hole, and it popped up a thing, and it's like, hell yeah, I'll check that out. But again, it's very mediocre. Of course, there's the spine, or I can't remember what they call this, but this is big in Japan, having the spine card with it, and of course, the manual. Again, great art on these. So yeah. Again, just some interesting. Again, I never knew about it because, again, it didn't come out over here. So, we missed out on a lot of cool stuff. All because, the Sega Saturn was basically dead on arrival when it came to the States. Because, again, as you know from my Sega Saturn video, Sega of America wasn't talking to Sega Japan. So there's a disconnect, and they fucked it up. Same thing. They did the same thing with the Dreamcast. Dreamcast was an excellent console, and they fucked it up, and it's whatever. History's history. But both of those are great consoles. It's just, it's hard to collect for them because, especially the Saturn, if you're wanting just US releases, very low print runs. And that's going to lead me into my last two games. They are US releases, so as you know that because of these dumbass Sega CD clamshells that they were reusing for the Saturn, but we have Loaded and Battle Arena to Shinden Remix. So these two games, I actually never knew that they were on the Saturn. I thought these were both PlayStation 1 only. They did come out first on the PS1, and then a year later, they came out on the Sega Saturn. Loaded is a top-down shooter, and it's very fun. It's kind of the early, the predecessor to games like Hunter the Reckoning and things like that. So that again, that top-down action shooter genre, very very fun co-op game. So in this one, you take on the persona of 6 chronically pissed off homicidal mutants and blast your way off the brutal planet Rolf. So you can slash and splatter your way across the galaxy. So again, simple premise, but you're fighting hordes of monsters and mutated animals and things like that. You got the characters right there, and each one has their own stats and play styles and things like that. Special moves, things like that. Again, there's the disc. Again, Sega of America skimped out on having cool designs and stuff, unlike Sega of Japan. So yeah, this is from Interplay. But again, very fun game. I played it on PlayStation 1. I beat it. There was a sequel that was a PS1 only game. It's pretty fun too. They added a few new characters and stuff. But again, if you're into that kind of game style, give it a check. Check it out. If you can do it for cheap. I want to say there's a PS1 Classic edition of Loaded. I actually don't remember what I paid for this one. Maybe 20-ish bucks. I can't remember. But then, of course, there's also Battle Arena to Shinden Remix. This is another one that I think I had nostalgia goggles on because the gameplay is very trash on this. Maybe it was just the conversion from PlayStation 1 to Sega Saturn, but the PlayStation 1 version was better, if I remember right. Again, when I was testing this out, I'm just like, good lord, how the hell did we play this? Battle Arena to Shinden 2 on PS1 was definitely leaps and bounds better, but again, very clunky, slowish pacing and stuff. But again, it's another US Saturn game that I didn't have before, and again, something fun to bring out every so often. Bust out with your friends if you want to go down memory lane like that. But again, yeah, ugly generic ass cover, and then of course advertisement for Guardian Heroes. But yeah, typical instruction manual, gives you a little background, the characters, all that kind of stuff. And honestly, I don't know what came first. I don't know if this came first. I can't remember if this came first or actually, I think this did come out first. So you had this weapon fighting, and then Soul Edge and Soul Calibur and stuff came out later on. But yeah. So yeah, 2 more US Saturn releases for my system. Another thing I picked up for the Saturn, I got the arcade joystick. So this is of course the US one. And yeah, I need to either take these off or replace them because they stick. They stick to things, and it's very annoying to like pry it off because it gets so old or whatever. But yeah, joystick, it's nice. Buttons work all right, and of course, right here you have you can do turbo, so it's good for your shooting games, the shmups, things like that. And of course, play your bukus of fighting games. I can't remember. I'm not sure if I tried House of the Dead with this or not, but that could be. I could work for that, I would think, because with the joystick here, that might give you a little bit better precision trying to get your reticule up or whatever. But again, I didn't pay. I think I paid maybe $50-$60 for this. Again, just getting some extra stuff for my Saturn because again, I really like the system. Not as much as the Dreamcast, but still, it's a great system. I love the beat 'em ups on there, amongst other things. And of course, I can play it on my my monitor here or my flat screen TVs with the hookup I have. Again, check out my Sega Saturn video from a couple years ago. I go over a bunch of that stuff. And lastly, not only rounding out the Sega Saturn stuff, but also rounding out the video, I got a Saturn Saru SS HD loader. So the Saru, let's see, go ahead and show that off right there. I got the blue version. There's different colors and whatnot. So the Saru is it's an optical drive simulator. So you put it in the the cartridge slot up the top that's normally used for either your action replays or the memory card slot that you get with the fighting games. And this not only helps you play imports, it also serves as an extended memory card because the internal memory is very lacking. So this can save your games. It can you can play your imports on it, but it also has the whatchamacallit, the RAM, the built-in RAM, the 1 megabyte and the 4 megabyte. It automatically goes to the game that needs it. So X-Men versus Street Fighter or whatever, it automatically switch to the 4 megabyte so you can run it flawlessly. But oh yeah, it also has the Pseudo Saturn Kai, which is what I have here, Pseudo Saturn, hence it looking the same or pretty similar. So you can play your imports, but it's also an EverDrive. So yeah, the version I got the 128 gig version, so it comes with a bunch of games here on this little micro SD. You can also add more games to it, and you can do some homebrews, things like that. So yeah, very, very cool picking this up. And I picked this one up, so the 128 gig version, after tax and everything, ran me $73. The regular Pseudo Saturn, that it only allows you to play the imports, and of course has the built-in the RAM spot. I think this was $50, so like $20 more. I got the same thing plus extra memory plus a fucking EverDrive on top of that. So hell yeah. So yeah, the company that I got it from, it already had a bunch of games on there. So of course a lot of the fighting games I already have. Has stuff like Biohazard, aka Resident Evil, has Symphony of the Night, excuse me, things like Guardian Heroes, Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is rare and very, very fucking expensive. Granted, a lot of the stuff is in Japanese and not really translated well, so you can fumble through it if you want. But again, like I said, it's an EverDrive, so you can actually add to it. You can add the English versions to it as long as they have the ROMs and stuff out there, which they do on a lot of stuff. Back several years ago, I can't remember the exact date, but somebody finally broke the code on the optical drive simulator stuff, and that just unloaded a plethora of ROMs and new hacks and mods and then English translations for a lot of these games that there wasn't previously. So that one person who the name eludes me, I saw in another video. Once they did that, that just opened the floodgates, and we got a lot more cool Saturn shit out there for us at a reasonable price. You're not having to break the piggy bank on getting, some of these physical games. Because again, like in this one, Guardian Heroes is a couple $100s to get. It's insane. So yeah, again, very cool. Again, you just pop it into that slot, and boom, it has select games. So you can, all the games that are already on here, you can go pick it. You can upload, or not upload, but you can read your physical disc, and that's the thing too. So this runs not only the ROMs, but even your physical disc. It runs it a lot faster than just a normal, say, pseudo Saturn or other like your Fenrir, because that's the thing too. So there's other ways that you can play this, where you can do stuff like this. A couple of them involve like basically gutting your Saturn itself, and then like with the Fenrir, I want to say as an example, you put that in, but then your optical disk drive, you can't even use that anymore, and it's not as fast. It's not as fast as this. So this $70, hell of a lot cheaper, saves your internal guts, I guess, of your system, and runs that shit just like that. So again, very, very cool. Very happy with that purchase. And well, there you have it. That's going to end this what's in the box video. Thanks for joining me as always. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Leave comments, questions, whatever in the comment section, all that stuff. And until next time, Nerd Fam, Nerd Jace.